The children of Ahab and Jehoshaphat. Dear friends, in our previous story, we saw that Ahab's son Ahaziah died, and his brother Jehoram reigned in his place. While in Judah, Jehoshaphat died and his son Jehoram succeeded him, right? In today's story, we will see what happened next in both kingdoms. Ahab's son Jehoram became king of Israel in the 18th year of Jehoshaphat king of Judah. This Jehoram's sister and Ahab's daughter, Athaliah, was the wife of Jehoram son of Jehoshaphat. So they always had friendship between them. During the last years of Jehoshaphat's reign, while he was still king of Judah, Jehoram his son became king. Though Jehoshaphat had other children, he gave kingship to his firstborn Jehoram. Jehoshaphat gave his other children great gifts of silver, gold, and valuable possessions, together with fortified cities in Judah. But Jehoram was not satisfied with what he got. The influence of his wife and idol worshipper Athaliah turned him away from the ways of his father. He walked in the ways of the house of Ahab. When Jehoram had ascended the throne of his father and was established, he killed all his brothers with the sword, and also some of the princes of Israel. Moreover, he made high places in the hill country of Judah, and led the inhabitants of Jerusalem into whoredom, and made Judah go astray. Though he sinned, the Lord was not willing to destroy him because of the covenant that he made with David. But soon the Lord stirred up against Jehoram the Philistines and the Arabians who were near the Ethiopians. And they came up against Judah and invaded it, and carried away all the possessions that they found that belonged to the king's house, and also his sons and his wives, so that no son was left to him except Jehoahaz or Ahaziah, his youngest son. And after all this, the Lord struck him in his intestines with an incurable disease. In the course of time, at the end of 2 years, his intestines came out because of the disease, and he died in great agony. He reigned for 8 years and departed with no one's regret. The inhabitants of Jerusalem made Ahaziah his youngest son king in his place. He walked in the ways of his father Jehoram. His mother was his counselor in doing wickedly. He went to Ramoth Gilead to fight against Aram with his mother's brother and king of Israel Jehoram. There Jehoram was wounded in battle, and he returned to Jezreel to be healed. Then, after some time, Ahaziah went to see Jehoram in Jezreel because he was wounded. At around the same time, Elijah's disciple Elisha sent one of his disciples to Ramoth Gilead in order to fulfill the responsibility Elijah had passed down to him. And when he came to Ramoth Gilead, the commanders of the army of Ahab were in council. He called the man called Jehu from among them, and took him to an inner room. Then he poured oil on his head and anointed him king of Israel. Then he opened the door and ran. Then, on knowing that God had anointed Jehu king of Israel, the rest of Ahab's servants sounded the trumpet, and proclaimed that Jehu was king. Soon Jehu conspired against Jehoram, and mounted his chariot and went to Jezreel. Jehoram was in Jezreel for recovery, and Ahaziah had come to visit him. When Jehoram and Ahaziah heard that Jehu was coming, they went out to meet him. And Jehu drew his bow and shot Jehoram between the shoulders, and the arrow pierced his heart, and he died in his chariot. When Ahaziah the king of Judah saw this, he fled in the direction of Beth-Haggan. Jehu pursued him and killed him too. However, the responsibilities God gave Jehu were not over yet. He went to Jezebel's palace too. And on Jehu's command, Jezebel's eunuchs threw her down from the window, and she died. Thus the word of the Lord which he spoke by his servant Elijah the Tishbite was fulfilled. Ahab had 70 sons in Samaria. According to Jehu's command, the guardians of the sons of Ahab killed him. Thus Jehu destroyed the house of Ahab and left no survivors. Ahaziah king of Judah reigned for just 1 year. He was 22 years old when he began to reign. As he died young, his house had no one able to rule the kingdom. We will see who ascended on Judah's throne and how Jehu from another family reigned over Israel in the next story. God bless you.